Let's do it. Oh, Ryan, what is this? Oh, this thing's always so screwy. Come on, there it is. Okay. At this time, we will call this meeting to order. May I have a roll call, please?
Trustee DeBoer? Here. Trutchell?
Here.
President Vanderstill?
Here.
Trustee Walschlager? Here. Connor?
Here.
Hallquist?
Here.
And Trustee Pfeiffer is excused this evening.
We have a special guest that's also going to be speaking in a little bit. It's the new director of the Hartland Chamber of Commerce. Derek Green will be leading us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
One nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, at this time, we have public comments for anybody that would like to speak in public comments. I will. Nothing on Zoom? If there's no one that wants to speak in public comments, Derek, if you'd like to step towards the microphone to introduce yourself, and you'll just be speaking in public comments, but take the time that you need.
Okay, perfect. Well, hello, everybody. I appreciate you letting me be here and helping me with the Pledge of Allegiance. It's been a long time, so appreciate that. My name is Derek Green. I am the new Executive Director of the Hartland Chamber of Commerce. Been here, well, this is now week 5, so just over a month, which I'm excited to be here. I want to take the opportunity to talk a little bit about the initiatives of the Chamber for 2025 and kind of where we're going, so you guys can kind of see that as well. I have it broken down into 3 major categories and then some subcategories from there. If anyone is interested in reading the entirety of what we're going to be pushing towards in 2025, please let me know, and I can always send an email so you guys can see the whole breakdown. The first one is, the big one for us is really just adding more value to already existing members, members being the local businesses of the Hartland area. Obviously it goes a little bit further than that, but transitioning a lot of our networking events to be more educational based for the local businesses in this area, providing more education base for them to help continue to support and boost our businesses in this area. With that comes more community focused events as well. We have plenty of members in our chamber that are more customer facing than business to business. So trying to find new ways that we can get the community engaged as well. I'll talk more about this another time, but I'm a firm believer that if we have a strong local business economy, that's obviously extremely important for the entirety of the Hartland community. So trying to find ways that we can help our existing members. Our second one is more focused on collaboration and enhancing user friendliness. With situations like connecting with the village and how the chamber can help support the village's mission, as well as the bid district, and also working on other ways we can get our members engaged and things like that. The last one, which is more internal, but I do think it's important, is just improving our internal systems. Right now it is difficult to get in touch with us as our email system has been down for the last week and a half, 2 weeks. So just improving those IT challenges and deficiencies to make sure that anyone, not just businesses, can get in touch with us in the easiest way possible, whether that's email, stopping in during our office hours, or connecting with us on social media as well. So those are our 3 big initiatives: adding existing value to already existing members, improving our internal systems, and of course I'm forgetting the second one already, which is, yes, our operations and overall friendliness. So again, if anyone wants to do a deep dive in this, please let me know. I can always send you an email, but for the meantime, I just want to say thank you for letting me chat here. I'm really excited to be a part of this community, and after everything, these last 5 weeks and everyone I've talked to, it seems that we are all in the same boat, rowing in the same direction, and I'm really excited to see the change that's about to be made at the chamber. So with that, that's all I got. So thank you.
Thank you.
Welcome aboard. Thank you. Welcome. Last call since it's still open for anybody in public comments. All right, well then we'll move to our first item, which is the approval of the minutes from the January 27th meeting.
I'll make a motion to approve minutes of January 27th, 2025.
I'll second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve the January 27th, 25 meeting minutes. Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. All opposed? That motion is carried. Now we have items related to our vouchers. We have a consideration of vouchers for payments in the amount of $7,555,633.19.
I'll make a motion to approve the vouchers for $7,555,633.19.
I'll second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve the payment of the vouchers. Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. All opposed? That motion is carried. Now we have actions related to licenses and permits. First coming, we have consideration of a special event application. This is for Hartland Kiwanis, Bark River Bash, held on May 3rd, 2025.
Hi, everyone.
Sir?
Jim Minzenberger here again on 182 Warren Avenue, and on behalf of the Hartland Kiwanis and the Business Improvement District. This is our fourth running of the Bark River Bash, to be held on the date that you guys had there. Pretty much, we're going to be keeping it, very similar to what we have in the past. I'm going to be doing the canoe event from Centennial down to Nixon. We'll do the duck race, which is from the covered bridge over to Nixon. We're going to be utilizing the Fine Arts Center with some music. Hopefully, depending on how you guys hash through things, we would have the beer opportunity at the Fine Arts Center, and so we'll see how all that goes. The one thing that we also have some inflatables that we are planning. We did that last year, and so not much change that way. Most of the things are going to be in the same locations, so there shouldn't be too many changes that way. We may have a little diminished presence on the vendors that we had the last time. So we're still kind of working that. And if there are any changes that way, we'd probably just bring them to staff and, if need be, come back to you guys. But like I said, I don't think we have too many different things planned. So it's been a good event when we've got good weather. Nice way to get the people out and enjoying the park before the real summer starts. So yeah, if you guys have. That was, yeah. And actually, our first one was pretty good, too. We were like in the 60s, but you're always tempting it right around that May 1st date, so. But, we hope all goes well. If you guys have any questions, happy to answer them.
They did ask at the park board to waive the fees. Obviously, we're trying to have the park board not bring that up in case you're ever in conflict with it. This is a good community event, brings thousands of people here. So really up to you guys if you want to waive the fees. They have been waived in the past.
This is the second year that the Kiwanis is going to be putting the proceeds towards the library, and because children is our main focus, towards the children's section of the library. So
What's the fee what's the fee if it's not waived?
I think it's just for building rentals or
$5.
whatever. Yeah.
75.
75. So and I just want to, and in fact, I'm happy it's you, because I think you'll understand, we're trying to make, some are trying to make a transition we've talked about, because it still does take, like DPW will collect garbage and stuff like that, so just to cover those small things, if we could I'm for forgoing it. I'm only one that's on this board, and not just with Kiwanis.
Right.
We're trying to go kind of across the board with that, so that at least the village is recouping that small portion for like a DPW person that in this event, that'd be mainly, that's what it would be, is just the collection of additional garbage. But again, I'm just one on the board. It's not anything against Kiwanis or any of all the good things that go on in the village. It just offsets a little bit that we have to have someone there. But that, again, I'm just one that's giving my opinion.
I'd like to make a motion to approve the special event with the Hartland Kiwanis for the Bark River Bash on May 3rd, 2025. And them paying the fees, not waiving them.
I'll second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve the Bark River Bash for May 3rd, 2025. Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. All opposed?
Aye.
That motion is carried.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much. We're looking forward to it.
Thank you. Thanks for doing it every year.
Yes. Now we have consideration of a special event application. This for Lake Country Family Fun, Hartland Kids Day, held on July 30th, 2025.
Hi, I'm Erin Ginnerberg. It is our 13th annual event. We are happy to bring the event back. We are looking for one minor change. We did have a meeting with all the department heads earlier in January just to make sure we have we're always trying to improve from the previous year. So we had that meeting, and the one thing that we would change is we'd actually make it an hour shorter. So it'd be from 9 to 1. It's previously been 9 to 2.
It says 9 to 1 on the app.
Oh, yes. Just last year and the year before, it was 9 to 2.
This has always been just an absolutely wonderful event for Hartland and everybody in the surrounding area. So many people come from there as well, so it's. Does anybody have questions for the presenter or want more information?
One of the things that you didn't mark on here, and maybe I'm missing something, are you going to need barricades at all for the village event? That wasn't a yes or no?
Yes.
It wasn't
Yes.
marked, so yes.
Yes, we will. And we did, I didn't apologize for
Oh, and
missing
then,
that
okay,
on the
4,
form, but we
okay.
did
Okay, I
discuss
see.
that with.
I've got it now.
Okay.
You didn't mark yes or no, you just put 4 down, and I apologize, I should have seen that. Thank you.
You're
Anybody else?
I'll make a motion then to approve the special event application, Lake Country Family Fun, Heartland Kids Day, July 30th, 2025.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve Heartland Kids Day on July 30th, 2025. All in favor? Aye. All opposed? That motion is carried.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Now we have consideration of a bartender application by Richard LaRusso, Jr.
Lieutenant Jewell, would you mind presenting this one? He is not.
We had spoke it, this one, we'll let Rob explain it, but yeah, this one
Sure,
is-
yeah, the chief did the background, check into it, no criminal history. The only reason it's being brought to the board is he self-disclosed, sale to a minor, sale of alcohol to a minor. It was so long ago that we don't even have access to it in our records management, so he would recommend approval.
The applicant estimated that it was in 2002.
I'll make a motion to approve the bartender application for Richard L. LaRusso Jr.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve the bartender's application for Richard LaRusso Jr. Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. All opposed? That motion is carried. Now we have other items of consideration. Consideration of a second reading for a bill for an ordinance number 01272025, an ordinance amending section 10-208, special events permits.
If you recall, you all changed the timeline for the special events permit at 60 days, that it could be less than that with language of it could be denied. This is just in the code, so we just need approval. This is a second reading. You can let it go to a third reading, or you could suspend the rules and approve it. We're just matching what you approved a couple weeks ago to make sure the code matches it as well.
And for clarification, this changes, the main change is changing the word shall to could.
Yes, that they are subject to denial. Right now, the way the code reads is anything without 60 days shall be denied. So,
I'll make a motion to suspend the rules.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to suspend the rules. Go ahead, Tim.
oh, we got to vote on it.
Oh, I'm sorry. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? That motion carries. The rules are suspended.
I'll make a motion to approve the second reading of the bill for the ordinance of 01272025, an ordinance amending section 10-208, special events permits.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve bill for an ordinance number 01272025, an ordinance amending section 10-208, the special event permits. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? That motion is carried. That is adopted. Now we have discussion and consideration to award Zignego Company, Inc., the 2025 Utilities Program contract in the amount of $295,308.
So our annual utility program went out for bid, and this is gonna be Park Avenue, West Capitol, Four Winds, and Kestrel Way. We got 4 qualified bidders in that. Zignego Company, Inc. came in as low bid at $295,308, and staff recommends using them for this year's utility contract.
I'll make a motion to award Zignego Company Incorporated the 2025 Utilities Program contract in the amount of $295,308.
I'll second.
It's been moved and seconded to award the Zignego Company, Inc., the 2025 Utilities Program contract in the amount of $295,308. Discussion.
The only question I have we used them before? Are we familiar
No, we
with their
haven't.
references?
We haven't used Zignego before. Zignego usually does flat work, concrete and asphalt. So this is the first year that they actually have a utility crew that does this type of work, so we have not used them in the past.
Do we get any references at all?
Yeah, R&M checked into them as far as references.
Good?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
They're a pretty big reputable company. It's just the first time they're doing this type of work, so.
I'm just gonna add, because, you know, I can see where Rick is going with that, especially if we're going with a newer company. I'm gonna vote for this. I'm just saying in the future, it just helps the board if I could have called earlier too. I didn't think of it, but you know, what you're alluding to is not a bad idea when we're using someone new, but just so throwing down in the future that
Right.
if we have that info, that'd be great. But we don't, the motion's been made, so. Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? That motion is carried. Thank you, Tom.
Yep.
Now we have a conceptual review of Lake Country Lutheran High School expansion. Gentlemen?
Just for the board, I'll have it, you guys all have it, if not, it'll be on the screen in front of you.
Expansion. You want me to just give you the overview? Okay. What you're seeing before you here is a proposed conceptual review of an expansion to the west side of our property. It will require us to put about 25,000 square feet on the property, 12,500 per floor roughly. That's an area that was planned for future expansion when the property was originally designed. This would be for both academic expansion, which would be primarily on the second floor, and athletic expansion on the first floor. So we'd have some training facilities and some PE expansion areas on the first floor. We also are coming to propose that we will very shortly need additional parking stalls on the property. So that was also planned and graded for back when the school was originally built and the last addition was put on. As you can see, there's some expansion to the, let's call it the main parking lot, which would be to the northeast, as well as in the front circle area where we're a little short of space right now, where some of the faculty parks and other additional guests park. So we're proposing to look at 2 additional parking expansions as part of this also. We've engaged our consultants thus far. Our architects are brought on board, our site and civil engineers have been brought on board, and our contractor to begin the process to look at the feasibility of this expansion, which we'd like to do fairly quickly. The school, as you may know, has been growing and the student count continues to go up, thank God. And we are preparing for that for hopefully, if we can do this addition, we would be ready in the 2026 first semester to be able to open this additional space. The site had been graded for, and primarily site and civil work had been done for this expansion. We had a brief meeting with staff to discuss this, as well as our stormwater and some of the other things that are going to be needed for site utilities. So we think we're pretty well prepared to be able to move fairly quickly along with our engineers and consultants on this proposed expansion.
Again, with this, it's just a conceptual review, no approval of it. But after this meeting, it would be going to the Plan Commission and This is a pretty easy one. There's no PUD, nothing with that. It's just approval of it, but we wanted you to see it. And the paper did inquire about it. I don't know if you heard or saw that. The Freeman did inquire about it. They were waiting on the map. So I'm guessing they'll reach out or they'll publish something in regards to this.
If we are going to send it, though, I do usually, I mean, I'd like it if we had a vote that sends it to Plan Commission, because it's giving our okay that we're approving of the concept.
I'll make a motion to approve the concept of the Lake Country Lutheran High School expansion
Second.
and the parking lot.
It's been moved and seconded to approve Lake Country Lutheran expansion and parking lot, as shown in this conceptual review. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? That motion is carried, so that'll go on to Plan Commission.
Correct. Thank you very much.
Great, thanks.
Thank you.
Reach out tomorrow. We'll talk with Scott and we'll get it moving.
Now we have a conceptual review of Palmer Drive Apartments as proposed by Cherry Faith Properties.
All right, Dwan, we'll have you come on up and give a little presentation.
Good evening, everyone.
Hi.
Evening.
Again, this is a conceptual review for this. This project is zoned as a quarry, so, and there is an easement. He talked to the town of Delafield, or city of Delafield, Tom Hafner. I will have to do some legwork with that as well, because it is our sewer that goes to Easy Street, but he needs an easement, or we need to take over that parcel of land to get the stormwater up to here. Mr. Cherry is aware of that. He had a meeting, so.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Yeah, so once again, my name is Dwan Cherry. I'm the principal developer for this project. Happy to put together something with immaculate team, my development team, but also something that not only benefits city of Delafield, but also village of Hartland as well too. So this would be 26 units, 1 and 2 bedroom units. Half of which will be ADA accessible. So we're currently in the stages of working or talking with different service providers that will provide services to the residents that needs it. I've also been in contact with the owner of Inclusion Coffee as well too. That'd be a great addition to employees there that are looking for housing. So just kind of gearing up for pretty much the next few months, right, of the things that we have to go through. Yes, I did have a meeting with Tom. It was a great meeting. Obviously, the utility will have to be something that it's heavily in discussion, right? Because we're essentially having to bring water uphill. But there's there's I would say that other than that I would say really that's the biggest challenge more than anything. But other than that, though, we definitely have community support behind the project. Yeah, it's just of course going through the the process of things to make sure we are we break ground. Our timeline for breaking ground, because I wanted to make sure once we got a chronological schedule of the things I have to go through within these next couple of months. So we're 6/23 will be the final approval of fingers crossed if everything goes well. Final approval on rezoning of the PUD. So after 6/23. So let's just say 7/1, that is our projected, ground break for the project, so.
And just explain to them, you're getting, I believe it's grant or funding, so this is subsidized, but just kind of give them an idea of what the rents are.
Yes, absolutely. So, we are working with the Waukesha County Waukesha County Home Fund, The growth fund is something separate that we're also working on, which I'll go into details about that. But the Waukesha County Home Funds, essentially it acts as a subsidy. So for the 1 bedroom units, there'll be roughly $950-ish, and the 2 bedroom units will be $1123. Once again, that's only, it's not for all the units, that's only for the 1 bedroom units. The 2 bedroom units would be more of the market rate, because you need to have a nice balance, in terms of, of course, providing that financing side of things. So yeah. And then the other sources of, other financial sources that we have injected will be the Waukesha County Growth Fund / the MEDC, so Milwaukee Economic Development Corporation. They're based out of Milwaukee, Wisconsin. So that will be a loan. The Waukesha County Home Funds will be a loan as well too, but I believe if you have the rent at an affordable rate for a certain period of time, then that can be deferred. So I'm working with Kristen Silva on that. So we've already gotten past our executive committee meeting. Now it's on to one more, and then that funding should be approved before, you know, we even break ground. So I have one source completed already.
So this has gone to planning commission already, yes?
Just the concept.
Yeah.
I've seen it before.
This is concept again, just because before it was several different items, now we are one, this is what he's moving forward. 26 apartments, you said, or is it
26, yes.
26? Last time it was up to 30, there were a
Yeah.
couple different buildings. Now this is the path, the plan forward.
Yes.
So concept would be moved to plan commission. Again, with this, it is a developer agreement, plan unit development, rezoning, comp plan. It's gonna need an easement. It's the
Yes.
parcel that was quarry, that the quarry didn't take up on the hill. So it is challenging. He knows
Yes.
that. He's gotta get the sewer up. The water is there, it's just gotta go across the street. So.
Yes. Thank you for, yes.
I did want to ask, just for clarification for the board, regarding, you just talked about the Milwaukee Economic Development
Yes.
Commission or committee?
Milwaukee Economic Development Corporation.
Corporation.
Yes.
And then you also mentioned,
Waukesha County Growth Fund, so they would be kind
are
of
both
tied.
of those independent organizations?
Yes, they are. They just work hand in hand on certain deals.
But none of
that
them are
have-
tied to the state government?
No, no.
Okay, I'm just asking because I would like to know ahead of time.
Yes,
You know, if all of a sudden Heartland is superseded by some other group because they're tied to the
Yes.
state, I would want the board to know that.
Yeah, so I mean, how they structure their deals, they really are subordinate loans behind your senior lender. So our senior lender for this project will be Springbank, and so behind that, it will be Waukesha County Growth and MBDC, and then Waukesha Home Funds will be in third position. They could, you know, we talked, and they've only had one deal, and that was the Habitat for Humanity. That was structured a little bit different because those are single-family homes. This will be their first rental. They've been trying to find their rental, kind of that rental project.
Sure.
But, so that's why they're comfortable being third, fourth, fifth position. There's no preference. It's just they want to be injected into your capital stack. So,
Sure.
I can't think of anything better to put on that property
Yeah.
than these apartments.
I think it's good.
Do you mind just kind of, I know when, you don't need to get real in depth, but
No.
the ADA aspect of it, you kind of mentioned, you know, there might be
Yes.
vans that pick up residents,
Yes.
get them to their work. Just kind of give them idea of who might live there, just so they kind of have an idea of what that.
Yes, absolutely. So, and I'm glad that you touched on that as well too. So anything with an intellectual disability, so that's your, excuse me, if someone's autistic, someone has Down syndrome, right? So they're high functioning disabilities, so they can function within themselves, but they just need that little bit of assistance. So they may not drive because of their disability. That doesn't mean they can't live by themselves. It's just they're just not able to drive. So that's where that transportation aspect will come into play. So they don't, because I've had conversations like this in terms of if they have behavior issues. No, because that's where they have kind of the case, like their caseworker, or I guess you would say their big brother, big sister, that they've worked alongside of. So I'll give you kind of an example. So I attended Concordia University, Wisconsin, where I was an RA for 4 years. So I taught independent living skills. Now we had our organization, Bethesda, now they're known as Able-Lite. So of course, you know, being a college student also, because you're injected with real-time classroom, but then you also have your, you know, your classrooms that's created by the organization. They would not take in everyone, because not like if you're someone with myocarditis, right? And that's just kind of a viral that anyone can get, right? Sometimes that impacts your brain. If you're incapable of doing things like, you know, working and things like that, then they won't take that type of person because you would need extra help. But if you're someone that's autistic, or you're someone with Down syndrome, you're able to do things by yourself. It's just you need that support behind it. So whether if that is transportation, or someone dropping off medication for you, someone coming by just to make sure that you know your way around the building in your neighborhood, and that if you have access to transportation, this is where you need to go. So implementing that process, that day-to-day process, that's what those organizations or those individuals are for. So yeah. So I not only have experience teaching that, I stay actively involved with selecting specific organizations that I can partner with that I believe that can provide the best value for my residents. So yeah, it's a lot to take in, but yeah.
I think I'm somewhat familiar. We had a resident in Hartland that, unfortunately is no longer with us, but kind of went by the same thing. Had someone coming over on a
Yeah.
frequent basis.
Does this need to go to the planning commission with approval from us?
I mean, we don't have to, but I always think it's a good idea.
Consistency, okay.
Then I'll make a motion to approve the concept of the Palmer Drive Apartments as proposed by Cherry Faith Properties.
Second.
Been moved and seconded to send the Palmer Drive Apartments as proposed by Cherry Faith Properties to the Plan Commission.
So again, if that's approved, it goes to Plan Commission next Monday. That's their concept review, and then after that, that's when we start the timeline that I gave you.
Yeah, okay, perfect. Thank you.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? That motion is carried. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Announcements.
I was reached out by Milwaukee County, one of their head foremen on the group. He is going to be taking out some trees on North Avenue, just across from Chestnut Ridge. There's been some visibility issues over there with the crosswalk, so he just wanted me to make an announcement about if anyone has any issues. He's gonna be going to each person's door and telling them that he's gonna be removing the street tree in front of their house. That is Waukesha County's property, though. That's their right of way from Hartbrook Drive going north on North Avar County E. Other than that, ice rink is open. We've had good conditions for that, so that's all I really have.
Thank you, Tom. Chief.
For the fire department, nothing too much from this last month. We did have a higher call volume month this January. We're actually had 109 calls, which last year we had 91. So we're 18 calls ahead from 2024. And it's already been so far a busy start to this month. We have our 2 new full-time members that had started, with one of them, or with a third one that is undergoing pre-employment background checks, physical and stuff. Hopefully we'll have him up and running here within the next couple weeks. But the new full-timers started their 24/48s on the 1st, and everything seems to be going good. And lastly, we got our Knox control systems, our Knox key secure systems in our rigs for our first outs. Pretty much is a chain of custody system. The keys require a PIN number that they have to be unlocked, and we can go back and data track whenever they are released in the event that someone doesn't return it, and pretty much can find that person that released it before and make sure we get it back to where it goes. But those are up and running. We tested it through and seems to be working well. That's all I got. Chief?
Yeah, Chief.
Chief, anything to add?
Not much. Obviously, recovery's going well. Wednesday's post-op, so hopefully I get good news and I'm back at work shortly.
Awesome. Keep healing fast.
Nothing much from the PD either. Obviously, if anybody watches the news, you know we've had an eventful January. I won't add anything to that right now, but other than that, Chiefs away at the Wisconsin Chiefs Conference. And then our second hire just made it through background. Now he's got his conditional offer. We're just waiting for medical back for him, and then we'll be good to go, probably starting March, early March, mid-March maybe.
Nothing.
I'm good.
I just want to remind everybody that this Friday, February 14th, is the homeless vet sleep out at the Legion Hall in Hartland. And on Friday, also North Point Community Church up on West Capitol, they're having a free potluck dinner for anyone who wants to stop by. It'll be from 5 to 7, I believe. And anyone is welcome, everyone's welcome. So, that's it.
Awesome.
Yeah, the fundraiser at the Legion is awesome. I've been doing it for many years. I'll be there sleeping out in the chilliness in a tent. So come one, come all, have fun, bring your wallets and be generous.
We've a job application for the recreation director is out. We've received quite a few applicants. We're going to start doing interviews this week and next week, and we'll go from there. So Sarah's last day was Friday, and all staff kind of We met, we talked, we know the game plan for hometown and concerts, and we'll be good to go.
Thank you, Ryan. And what? Yeah, we got an election going on. We have a primary election going on. There's, you get to vote for judge, or for Supreme Court, and you get to vote for Hartland Lakeside School Board. I don't believe that there's any primaries for any other school districts. I don't know.
The primary is February 18th. There's a statewide, state school superintendent race on that ballot, and the Hartland Lakeside has a primary for their school board. Then those candidates will go on to the April 1st election.
Then we have, I had a chance to sit down and talk with the executive director of the chamber. We had a very fruitful discussion, and it was very good. It was a breath of fresh air, and we're looking forward to the future. I think that we're going to be able to do some wonderful collaboration together. That's the way it sounds. That's what they want to do. So I'm very excited at that opportunity, the future ahead with that, and working together. I was able to take a day off and go through the building with our village manager, Ryan Bailey, and I was able to see some parts that I have never seen before that just kind of reiterated just how old some of these systems within this building are, including the building itself, or some of it anyways. So, but with that, obviously the sleep out's been touched on. That's the big one coming up this weekend, to really focus on that and get over there and make sure to stop by. It'd be a great thing to stop by at if you get time to. And I don't have any other, I have no other announcements. Yep. Anybody got anything last announcements that they want to throw in? No? All right. The next item we have is an item for closed session. Pursuant to Section 1985, Section 1, subsection E, Wisconsin statutes, upon a motion duly made, may convene in a closed session for deliberating or negotiating the purchase of public properties, the investing of public funds, or conducting other specified public business whenever competitive or bargaining reasons require a closed session, specifically related to the Nixon Beer Garden. This would take a roll call vote to go into closed session if a motion is made and seconded.
I'll make a motion to go into closed session.
Second?
It's been moved and seconded that we go into closed session under the subsections and the state statutes that I've already said. I do want to, if it's okay, I just want to add to that, if there is some action that we're going to take for the public, we would come back into open session and we would take that action at that time. Or we would come out and then we would just adjourn the meeting. But either way, we'll come out and do one or the other. Have a roll call vote, please, on going, yes or no's on going into closed session.
Trustee DeBoer? Yes. Trutchell?
Yes.
Walshlager?
Yes.
Connor?
Yes.
Hallquist?
Yes.
President Vanderstill?
Yes. So with that, we'll give it a minute to clear the room and then we will begin closed session. Okay, we are. Okay, we're out of closed session and into open session. At this time, I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to adjourn this meeting. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. This meeting's adjourned.